Welcome to another edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube. I am Charles Taylor and got Patrick Brackett with me. Say what's up, Patrick.
What's up, everybody?
All right, well, let's see how this thing goes. I'm battling a few technical difficulties on my end, but we'll see how it goes. It's okay. We'll work through it. Now,
There's about to be a few technical difficulties on this end. I'm about to strangle my dog, and Peter can suck it.
Patrick,
He keeps barking. He just keeps barking. I'm gonna go down there and strangle it. See, I don't know if I can hear him. He's like, dang dog.
It's okay. Patrick, stop. No, look.
Yeah, but my kids are trying to sleep. Focus, shut up.
Well, we have a lot to get to. We have a lot to get to with this show. Hopefully, Patrick can get through without kicking the dog. So, yeah. All right, Patrick, let's start with Major League Baseball. We have the American League Championship Series set in very surprising fashion. Both of the series sweeps. And for both of us, we picked the Texas Rangers and the Boston Red Sox to be in there, and they're both gone. So now we have the Toronto Blue Jays and Cleveland Indians in this series with Game 1 in Cleveland on Friday night. So first, just give a quick little review of these two series and then pick your winner of the ALCS, if you don't mind.
I was looking at I was looking at the Texas game, Texas and Toronto, and I mean, like I said, dude, Toronto lived off the long ball. They have been living off the long ball for the past 2 years, and Texas, I mean, they didn't show up. They didn't show up at all. I mean, a Texas team that their pitching has been pretty stellar all season. Not one of the strongest lineups, but the lineup gets it done. And yet, here they are getting swept by the Toronto Blue Jays because of like 45 home runs in 3 games.
And Patrick, if you go back to last year, they lost 6 straight games to Toronto. Remember, they won 3 in a row on them last year.
Yep. So, I mean, this is my pick for the American League, man, and yet they found a way to screw it up. And there's nothing that this Texas team needs. There's nothing that they need. They have great pitching. They have a great lineup. Everything is in place. They just didn't show up in this series. And then Boston, well, what can you say? Boston's lineup didn't show up, and Cleveland's pitching did. So, not really much to say about that. Cleveland sweeping their team. Toronto sweeping their team. So you got Toronto and Cleveland versus each other, starting in Cleveland. I'm gonna have to say I like Cleveland's pitching in this matchup. I think that Cleveland has a strong lineup, and I think that I'm gonna go with Cleveland in 6.
Yeah. Yeah. The Texas thing. Yeah, very surprising. I mean, I thought, based on what happened last year against Toronto, knowing they in essence got swept in that series. I know they won the first 2 games of the series, but they lost the next 3. It looked like Texas was hungry. It looked like they were going to come back and make some amends. They get this matchup with Toronto, and it was worse. I mean, Cole Hamels shelled in the first game, gave up 7 runs. Yu Darvish in game 2, 4 homers given up by Yu Darvish. And then in game 3, Kobe Lewis was getting knocked around. So I don't know. I mean, I agree with you. It's not like Texas needs something. It looked like everything was addressed. You looked at the trades they made for the catcher, Jonathan Lucroy, and for Carlos Beltran, looked like it solidified the lineup. But Toronto in the playoffs, apparently. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they got to avoid that matchup because Toronto seems to have their number right now.
Apparently. And that's not a 500 number when they play Texas.
Yeah. And and then the Cleveland and Boston. Cleveland's pitching, and they got some timely hitting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Boston, this lineup that we heard so much about, and it was very potent lineup throughout the year. They had what? You'll have to fact check me on this, but they had what, 5 people in their lineup with 30 or more home runs, something like that.
Five with 32 plus.
See, and they were shut down. I mean, he got
No
shut
home runs.
down.
None.
So
I don't think they had one extra base hit in that entire series. One or two. Now, I would have to fact check myself on that, but from what I remember, I think Dustin Pedroia had a double. Mookie Betts maybe had a double. I think that was it, dude. That was it. Nobody else hit.
It was tough going. Definitely tough going for Boston in that series, and now they're going home. And the great career of Big Papi David Ortiz is done now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as far as the Cleveland and Toronto series, it wouldn't surprise me either way. I think both of these teams are pretty well matched up with each other. I think Cleveland has have an edge with the pitching. Toronto has an edge with the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it just depends on situational baseball, I guess. Like how do people hit with men in scoring position? Can whoever comes out of the bullpen, can they come up with those clutch pitches to get out of a jam?
Will Cleveland play small ball?
Well, Cleveland, you know what? Cleveland is really good at the small ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they're very good at manufacturing runs. And the manager, Terry Francona, hey, this is the guy. Look, we always talk about Theo Epstein and Joe Madden, and let's remember Terry Francona, of course, was the manager of those Red Sox teams that broke that curse that Theo Epstein put together. So he knows how to get it done in the playoffs. With that said, though, I think there's something about this Toronto team, man. I just go back to the way they won that wild card play-in game. Another conversation for another day, Patrick. I know that bothers you, and it bothers me too.
But smile.
Yes, like it. But Toronto won. They won the game against Baltimore on that 11th inning homer by Edwin Encarnacion. And then they just ran right through the Rangers, who had the best record in the league, or in the American League. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, I think there's something about this Toronto team, man. And I got them in 6. Wouldn't surprise me if Cleveland did pull it out, though. But I think it's going to be a great series.
It wouldn't surprise me to see Toronto win this. I think Cleveland, if Cleveland plays their baseball, just play what Cleveland has done. Play small ball when they need to. Remember that this is a 9-inning game and not a 2 or 3 inning game. As long as they remember that, I think Cleveland could be fine. Like I said, I got Cleveland in 6. But as long as they don't try to match hit for hit with Toronto, or home run for home run with Toronto, I think that they could pull it out. I mean, I think when Toronto wins, they're probably going to beat the crap out of them. But like I always say, man, even at the end of the game, after 9 innings, you can win 12-0. That's still just 1-0. So it's one game. That's it. If Cleveland stays playing Cleveland ball and does not play Toronto ball, I think Cleveland will be fine.
And Patrick, in the National League, we're still good with the Cubs, right?
Yeah. I'm sitting here watching this Dodgers. I'm peeping in on the Dodgers Nationals game. It's a 1-1 game now, and right before the webcast started, we were talking about how how Scherzer gave up a home run, and manager jumps up and was like, "Take him out." He been itching with Scherzer all night anyway. And I knew I kind of had a feeling as soon as Scherzer made a mistake, which it looked like he left a curveball hanging from the pitch or the screen that I saw. He looked like he left something hanging and got jacked out. So
the opposite field home run by Jock Peterson. It was actually a good piece of hitting.
Yeah, fantastic piece of hitting. I mean, anytime you go opposite field, dude, that's just giving what the pitcher gives you. This is taking what the pitcher gives you, dude. You could pull all day long, but if you go opposite field, man, the pitcher's like, okay, well, here, see if you can hit this. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you for that little nice hit. You're making me look good, bro. Jumping up, taking your ace out like that, though, I wouldn't have done it. I would have probably left him in, even if it was a 2-run homer. I would have probably pulled him if it was a 3-run homer. But come on, man, is this a tie game? Let him pitch his game. It's only 7th. Let him pitch. But anyway, past that, I don't see anything that's just like overwhelming from the Nationals. I haven't seen them all. I haven't seen it all season. I haven't seen really anything from the Dodgers that's overwhelming that can really tell the Cubs, hey, you need to watch out for us. No, I'm good with the Cubs, man. And whoever wins this, whether it be the Nationals or the Dodgers, and I know I had the Dodgers winning I had the Dodgers winning in 5, right? Or was it 4? Whatever it was.
Like 4.
4. I think it was 4 because I'm just not sold on this Nationals team. Whoever makes it, I think Chicago sweeps them. So.
Yeah, I mean, I have Chicago in 5, regardless of whoever they win or whoever they play, and I have to go back and
You gonna give Scherzer that win then, huh?
No. I don't. I mean, I picked the Dodgers.
If the Nationals win, you are going to give Scherzer that win against the Cubs because that's only going to be one they wins.
Yeah, I think they'll win in 5 games. You give Kershaw a win again if it was the Dodgers or something like that, even though he struggled in the postseason. But actually he pitched a pretty good game in Game 4.
He did.
So maybe he's starting to maybe he's starting to shake those a little bit. But I think Chicago, just going back to the series against the San Francisco Giants, the way they won that series, coming from behind in that 9th inning like they did to score 4 runs. I know the Giants bullpen has been shaky, especially in the second half of the season. But the Giants, in my eyes, was the one team. Right. And I mean, and the Giants were the one team that probably concerned me the most in a matchup with the Cubs. I still said the Cubs would win the series, but they were going to have to work for that one because the Giants aren't going anywhere. They're going to make you work. And the whole thing with the even season and all that. So
one thing was missing for them to win.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift would have dropped an album. Giants would have won. That's game over. Everybody else needs to walk out the door.
Patrick, that only happened
3 times.
No, she didn't drop an album in 2010 and 2012 at the same time, did she?
Yes, she did. All 3 seasons, she dropped one. She would have dropped one this season. Hey, World Series champs. But no, Taylor Swift's got to hold out and not do it. Okay, well, see what happens. Giants ain't Super Bowl or World Series champs now.
Blame this on the Taylor Swift curse. All right, but the way the Cubs came from behind on that game, that to me, that was one of those things to me that could be a defining moment. If the Cubs go and win the World Series, like we think they will, that game 4 against the Giants could be one of those defining moments. And I know they won a lot of games over the regular season, but to do what they did against a team who is battle tested.
20% of their wins came, or like 50% of their wins came from behind wins all regular season too. They broke a record. If I'm not mistaken, I think they broke a record with come from behind wins.
They did come from behind a lot, yeah. But
I mean like 2 a week, dude, for like months.
But to do it against a team that is battle tested like that in their crib in the playoffs, I think that could be one of those things. Because let's remember, I know the Cubs were very, very good over the regular season and stuff, but they're a young team. They're a young team. They have a few veterans in there, like a John Lester, who has been through those battles. John Lackey also. But overall, this is a very young team. So for them to be able to do that and grind, that could be the world as far as confidence goes. And I mean, we already felt like they were going to win based on their skill alone. They got the confidence to go behind it. That's very scary for whoever plays them next. So, well, all right, Patrick, let's move on. Well, do you have anything else to add before we move on to college football?
Just one thing. Of course, everybody knows I got Chicago winning it. With them playing Cleveland, I think Chicago's going to win that series in 6. So I'm gonna add that in there so that it's on record.
All right, cool. I got Chicago in 6 over Toronto. So,
well, there you go. And if it goes vice versa, even if it was Toronto, I'd pick Chicago in 6 anyway. So I guess Chicago in 6. It don't matter.
Well, all right, Patrick. Well, let's move on to college football and let's review a little bit of last weekend's action. What caught your eye?
Oh, well, hold on. My chair just broke on me.
We'll have to show the bloopers real quick if you fall out the chair.
Well, we don't get bloopers. It's just aired.
Yeah, it's just aired. Yeah.
One thing about this show, audience, we don't get bloopers. You just get what you get, dude. So
yeah. Good luck with it.
Good. 2 games, man, that really, really interest me. One, Navy and Houston, dude. Navy came out to play and ran a triple option to almost perfection, dude. I mean, fantastically ran against a defense that is very tough, very hard, and gets a lot of pressure up front, man. Get a lot of pressure, and that didn't stop Navy from doing what they did. They came out and they put it on Houston. I think Houston had to try to have a fourth quarter comeback, but ended up being 46-40. Man, I'm not like a huge Navy fan, but they beat number 6 ranked Houston, and Navy's not that good.
I mean, yeah, it's an impressive win, and I mean, the thing with Navy is Navy is they're going to battle you. It doesn't matter who they play. Because they run that triple option, which is something that's just not seen in college football. I mean, all you see is that Georgia Tech runs it and Air Force runs it, and that's about it. I mean, you have all these spread offenses. You might see some pro form every now and again, depending on what conference it is. But outside of that, it's mostly spread you out 4 or 5 wide receivers. And Navy comes with this spread option or this triple option. And they're not going to quit. I mean, anytime you play Navy, or you can go that way with any of the academies, you're going to get 60 minutes.
Yeah.
These dudes are not going to give up. So if you're half stepping it, you could get beat. Now, I don't want to say Houston was half stepping it, but it looked like they were knocked off guard and they could not recover.
I think it was mostly just knocked off guard. They thought that they were going to come in and be handed this win, and it surprised me, especially when Navy jumped up like 14-0.
It was quick.
It was quick too, man. I flipped it up. I flipped it over and was looking at it, and Navy won the toss, so they opted for the ball first, and like 3 minutes later, it was 14-0. I was like, whoa, what happened? And there was a lot of standing around from Houston. They were punched in the face, man, and they didn't know how to react.
Yeah, they were shell shocked.
They were shell shocked bad, and it got worse. And they just did not know how to. I mean, even the head coach he threw his hands up like several times, like, what the crap is going on, man? So I don't. Navy came out to play, man, and they played good. They played that triple option to perfection, man. And when you have a quarterback that throws he threw that 75%, but he didn't throw many passes, 21.
But yeah, and they don't. I mean, it's Navy.
They don't. But, I mean, dude, he completed like 17 of 21 for like 190 yards with a touchdown, or 2 touchdowns, or whatever it was. But man, those keepers, he knew when to keep it, and he knew when to hand it off. He knew when to shovel it. He knew when to dump it over the middle. I mean, it was just flat out. He just ran it to perfection. So I kudos to Navy, man. I don't think they're honestly, I don't think they're that good of a team. You're probably going to see somebody run a triple option like that maybe once every year, maybe once every 2 years. So kudos to Navy for coming out and making that happen. But I don't think it was I don't think it was like it was a big win for Navy, but I don't see it happening again. 9 times out of 10, Houston's going to beat Navy. There's your one time.
Any other games that caught your eye?
What was it? Tennessee game. That one. Dude, I text you. I thought Texas A&M was going to beat them, like straight out beat them. Tennessee made that a game. Like,
they have 9 lives. I mean,
they have 10 lives, dude. They just died on their 10th one, man. I don't get how I don't get how they survived this. I don't get how they made that game that close. Texas A&M had that game by what 12 points, 14 points, whatever it was.
It was a 28-7 lead. I mean, they had them 28-7.
Yeah, that's right. It was a 28-7 lead, and Tennessee just kind of fought back. I mean, like the first 2 scores Tennessee came back when they made it was like what was it, like 31-17 or whatever it was, 28-17 or whatever it was.
Yeah, they got it to 28-21, and then A&M scored the touchdown on the keeper by Trevor Knight, and then they came back and tied the game somehow. I don't know.
Tennessee I don't see how they tied the game. Those first 2 scores, when it was 28-7, when it went 28-14, 28-21, those first 2 scores, those were grinding drives. I give Tennessee credit on those 2 drives. That third drive, I don't know what happened. Texas A&M was not playing defense. I mean, it was one of those games where it's just this team took a break when this team was not, and then this team took a break when this team was not. I mean, it was just one of those games. And then finally, after second overtime, when Texas A&M got that interception, even then, Tennessee was. I mean, even Tennessee made a couple of good plays on that. Man, it was a good game. It shouldn't have went down as to the wire like it did. Texas A&M should have closed that game out. And those are the games that you got to close out. You got to get rid of those teams that are nagging around. And I mean, good job for Tennessee. I mean, you know, like I said, I had them picked in the East to win. But dude, they might carry a loss next week too.
Yeah. Yeah, the Tennessee Texas A&M game, it was a good one, and yeah, I think, yeah, I had A&M too, just going away winning that game, and they were on their way. But yeah, you give Tennessee credit where credit is due. They just find a way to continue to fight back, and they almost won that game.
Yeah,
but give A&M a little bit of credit. I mean, it looked like they were about to throw up on themselves, but they were able to pull it out.
Tuck it back down. Hey, look. Oh, gross, but we're gonna win this. Yeah, hey, we'll tuck it back down, but I don't.
Yeah, and one more game. Alabama and Arkansas, man. Alabama whooped Arkansas. Now, both you and I had that as our upset alert.
Mm-hmm.
No upset there. Alabama made sure there wasn't going to be no upset there. They handled Arkansas pretty easily.
It was probably a couple of people that was putting them on upset alert, man. Not just us. they heard the critics, dude. Give Arkansas credit though. They put up 30 points on them. They put up 30 points on them. And you know, any other year that would have probably beat Alabama. Funny enough, this year that offense is rolling, dude. They're hard to stop. I mean, dude, they score on like 80% of their drives. They're like 92% in the red zone. Dude, how do you beat a team that scores at will? And then their defense, I mean, their defense slacked a little bit on it. Well, I'm not going to say that. Arkansas's offense was good. Arkansas's offense was really good. And what kept Alabama just doing its thing is the offense. Offense just done its thing. and didn't worry about the defense. 49 points, dude. They scored on every drive except for one.
Yeah, had an
And they
interception
had long
return.
drives too, dude.
And
So,
they had an interception return for a TD too from
yep.
I think Michael Fitzpatrick is the corner's name. Yeah, he took that out of the end zone and ran it back. So
That dude's fast. He is
well, Patrick,
fast.
yeah, he once he got that block around the end, then yeah, he was pretty much over at that point. I have to mention this. I'm gonna be sick for mentioning this, but my boys, Texas, what is happening? What is going on? We can't stop anybody, Patrick. Our defense is awful. This is beyond awful, actually. We gave up 672 yards of total offense. 672 yards. Some people don't get that in 2 games.
Some people don't get that before.
It's awful.
I do. I don't know. I picked, dude. Your Texas teams are letting me down, bro. They are. I picked this team to win this conference, man.
They're letting me down.
And
I was expecting better than this.
Well, hey, Stan.
You're gonna give it to Oklahoma State
in that one, bro. Because TCU ain't doing crap. Texas ain't doing crap. Oklahoma's what? Look. Y'all can't stop. Y'all can't stop nothing. Y'all cannot stop anything. And you can't produce nothing. I mean, I'm thinking this is Texas's year. But I really have nothing to say. I really don't know what to tell Tennessee because honestly, they have everything in place. They are ready to play.
You mean Texas?
Who did I say?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Shoot, not Tennessee. Texas. They're They're there. They are ready. What is going on in these boys' heads? I have no clue.
Well, Patrick, look, you know, just like you said about Georgia, it's the same thing I said about Texas, man. I'm like, look, I feel like we can be better. It's not looking that way, of course, but I had to see how the defense was going to look. I felt like the offense would improve, but the defense to me was still a little questionable. They gave up a lot of yardage to Notre Dame. I said, okay, well, maybe they can work their way into it. Maybe they can go ahead and get something going. You were here in Dallas with me when they played California, and you saw how California rolled up all those yards on them. So when that happened, I said, "Uh-oh, I don't know, man. A lot of miscommunication going on. The bust and coverage going on. They weren't getting any type of pass rush. I mean, it was just bad, and it's gotten worse. Now Charlie Strong took over the defense. Still no better. It got worse. I don't know what to say, Patrick. I mean, yeah, like you said, I'm just gonna go ahead. Yeah, Stan. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Good pick, Stan, because at this point, ain't no team. Yeah. I don't know. I got one more.
You might as well be Oklahoma State, right?
Yeah, you might. I got one more game, and I got to say this because, man, was I wrong? Got to talk about the Florida State Miami game. Was I right about who was going to win? Yes. Was I right about the type of win that Florida State was going to have? No. By all rights, life of a kicker, man. Miami should have won that game. Life of a kicker. Like I said before, I'll say it again. You make it, you got the prom queen. If you don't, you got the fat hooker under the bleachers. Way it is, bro. That was a good game, man. Miami showed up, and you called that. Miami did show up, and they played a lot better than I was anticipating. Mark Richt has those boys playing very well, very well. So kudos to Miami, man. They're definitely on my radar now.
And Miami, I mean, they were winning the game. I mean, they had a good first half. They couldn't hold on. Florida State started to get some things going in the second half, and then you had the touchdown to the almost tied, and then like you said, the blocked extra point. But like I said, man, Miami, they were gonna show up, man. They're playing in Miami. Florida State, honestly, Florida State, I mean, they got talent. Yes, they do, but they're not. I don't think they're as good as advertised. I mean, that's easy to say, of course, now knowing they have 2 losses, but I didn't see a team that was going to say, you know what, it doesn't matter who we play this week. They were going to get it. I just didn't see that, especially not in Miami. The rivalry game, real tough. And, that's those dudes, it don't matter the records. They just get up for each other because a lot of them played against each other in high school. So I didn't see that with Florida State and Miami. I knew Miami was going to show up. And Mark Richt, he got something cooking there. I think give it another year or two. Miami they might be competing for national title talk.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't want to get so we'll see. Well, Patrick, anything that is there anything that you're looking forward to for this weekend's college football action?
Let me check out the games because I can tell you I haven't looked at any of them yet.
All right, man. I got you, man. You got Alabama, Tennessee. You got Ohio State, Wisconsin, NC State, Clemson. Any of those catching your eye?
Well, of course. Actually, I got 3 games. One is I actually have looked at this a lot more than I said. I said I haven't, but I actually have looked at this a little more than I thought. There is one game that really sticks out, of course. Ohio State and Wisconsin game. 2 top 10 ranked teams. You're playing in Wisconsin. It's gonna be tough. Ohio State. Sorry, man. I'm not going with this team because I don't like Ohio State. Though I am very partial to anybody who plays Ohio State. But I'm going with Wisconsin, man, and I'm going with Wisconsin because of the remarks you said about this team playing at home, week 1. And this team plays when they're at home. This team shows up when they're at home. This team stops whoever comes in their house when they're at home. Normally doesn't say this about Wisconsin, man, because normally I don't pay attention to them because they're normally not in the talk. But I don't know. I don't know if Ohio State can. They're going to score, of course, but I don't think they're going to score enough on this Wisconsin defense to win. I'm going with Wisconsin. 28-24.
All right. Well, yes, I did say Wisconsin is tough at home. I did also say LSU would win that game. I just didn't think it was going to be a blowout like what you had. Yeah. So look, Wisconsin, yes, you're right. They are very, very tough, man. The thing with Wisconsin, though, they can't score. They struggle to score. And when you're playing a team like, all right, Michigan, I'll go to that game. Scored 7 points against Michigan. Michigan has a very good defense. I think Ohio State, I don't know if their defense is as good as Michigan's, but it's pretty good. I'm going to go very close. I'm not a fan of Ohio State either, but they have Urban Meyer coaching them. And I'll take Urban Meyer in a coaching matchup over pretty much any other coach. I'm going to go Ohio State in this one, 2017. I think it's going to be close, man. Because, yes, Wisconsin's going to be very tough at home, very tough. College game day is going to be up there again in Madison. They're going to be jacked up. But, yeah, man, Ohio State, man, they have a lot of speed. I didn't know Ohio State had that much speed like they do.
And they're fast.
Yeah, I mean
They are fast.
they are fast, man. So I'm 2017.
Dude,
2017.
with that being said, now that you've got your pick, I got my pick. Dude, that's a good pick, man. I mean, don't I'm not gonna be one bit surprised if Ohio State wins this game. I mean, it's gonna be a good game. I think it could be. I think it has the makings to be an instant classic. This is going to be a very good team, and like you said, I mean, I know Wisconsin can't score, and I know Ohio State's defense is really good. Like I don't think there's many teams with a defense that's better than Michigan's right now. But I I think Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin can score on this team. I think they can. I don't. I'm not going to say that they're going to score 55, 60 points, but I think Wisconsin can grind some scores out of this game. And that's the reason why I'm going with Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin has enough to stop Ohio State's offense and put some points on the board. I think they can. So I'm gonna roll with Wisconsin. I'm good with that. 28-24. I'm good with that.
Any other games catching your eye?
Ole Miss and Arkansas. I'm gonna roll with Arkansas, man. 30-27, dude. I think Arkansas after this loss to Alabama, I think they have a lot of perspective of where they're at. This was not a beatdown by Alabama. I know Alabama won by 19 points, but to me it wasn't a beatdown because normally Alabama's winning by 40. So I think Arkansas has a perspective of what they are, who they are, and where their identity is coming from. And I think that that's going to make a huge statement against an Ole Miss team who people can score on. So I'm going with Arkansas, 30-27.
Man, I don't know who to pick for that one. I'll go. Yeah, because you don't know what Ole Miss team you're gonna get. I would like to believe Ole Miss is over their second half collapses and stuff. And if they are, I think they will beat Arkansas by 10 or 14 points. What? I don't know if they are or not. So I think I'll pick Ole Miss to win. But again, this will be a field goal game to me. 27-24 is what I'll go with. And I mean, but if Arkansas wins, wouldn't surprise me. They are playing in Fayetteville. So so we'll see. Alabama and Tennessee. I think Alabama's winning this going away. I do. I think Tennessee is getting whooped, dude. I don't think. I do not see Tennessee hanging in this one and trying to pull this out. I'm sorry, not this.
Last week, Tennessee's luck ran out. They have been shown they can be beat. And in this particular situation that Tennessee is in, not just with Alabama, but for the rest of the season, they're going to be their own worst enemy from this point forth. I know they were to begin with, but they had self-confidence saying that they could come back in the fourth quarter or the second half or whatever. That has been tarnished now. I think Tennessee, from this point forth, is going to struggle with who they are. I'm not going to blame. I still feel confident that they are going to win their side of the conference, mostly because Georgia's already lost 2 games, one to Tennessee, and then Florida has already lost to Tennessee. So at this point, even if Florida wins, or Florida's going to take another loss somewhere along the lines, and Tennessee's they're going to win their conference by that because they beat Florida. With all that being said, I got Alabama winning this game by 21 points.
Yeah, I was gonna say around that same margin too. I'm thinking it'd be 45-24, 42-21 type of game. I just think Alabama is coming in there. They're rolling right now. They're looking real nasty. And I think that game in Arkansas showed me a lot because, hey, I thought Arkansas was going to give them a game, man. They handled Arkansas. And I just see a lot of the same thing. I just said Tennessee all year hasn't shown me enough to where I would say they could compete with a team like Alabama. They are
Yeah.
playing in Knoxville. They'll be hyped up, of course, for that game because it is in Knoxville. And I think it'll be a little bit reversed. I think Tennessee will get off to a better start. Tennessee has not been getting off to any type of starts in their game at all. But I think they'll get off to a pretty decent start, or at least they'll be good enough to hang with Bama in the first half. And I just think Alabama's physicality and the defense and the skill positions, I think it just kind of takes over and they start to run away with the game.
Yeah, I agree. I guess what are we looking at? Upset alert now?
Yeah, if you have one. Is there anything that you catch?
I do have one. Missouri and Florida. I'm gonna put Florida on upset alert on this. Quarterback's out. I think Florida. I mean, I think Florida can win. I think Florida will win. But this is one of those games where it can be very tricky. I know they're playing at the Swamp, but this is one of those games where Mizzou has nothing to lose now. They've already lost 3, and 2 of those are in conference games, so they get to play a little bit more free. With Florida's quarterback being out, I'm going to put Florida on upset alert.
Yeah, and for my upset alert,
Vandy in Georgia.
No. Georgia and Vandy. No, I mean, you know what? No, Clemson might be our upset alert. NC State might be sneaky good. So we'll see. Yeah, NC State sneaky good. Look, I think Clemson will win. Don't get me wrong. I mean, and Clemson might ultimately win by around 10 or 14 points. But I think NC State can come in there and give them something to worry about.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, my upset alert was gonna be East Carolina versus Navy. But that game got postponed, so I don't get to pick them now. So thanks, Matthew, you piece of crap. But yeah, that's very interesting. NC State and Clemson. I mean, that could be one of those games where Clemson could overlook them, especially looking at who they got next. Who's Clemson got next?
Well, they'll have to go to Tallahassee later on in the month, but
so I mean, I guess they could be looking past that or looking towards that. That could make them slip up. But yeah, I mean, that's a good pick. I like that as an upset alert too. I think Clemson will ultimately take control of that. No, though I think that Clemson's probably going to win by like 17 points. But I think NC State's going to give them a lot to handle in that first half. So yeah, I like that pick.
Well, all right, Patrick. Well, let's move on to the NFL, man. What was your takeaways and what are you looking forward to?
Well,
for your takeaways from last weekend's action. My bad.
Okay. Well, first of all, dude, Atlanta and Denver in Denver. Wow, Atlanta is looking crazy good right now. This is a huge surprise to me because I mean I didn't expect Atlanta. Matt Ryan is giving some love out to everyone and on that field, man. He's playing really good, and I'm really surprised that Atlanta's offense was able to hold off Miller for Matt Ryan to have some time in the pocket. I mean, Matt Ryan was out. I mean, Matt Ryan had some clean pockets, man, to throw from. Now, there was some that was a little dirty, but for the most part, man, Atlanta kept Miller at bay, man. They looked really good. And gave something for San Diego to look at, too, because San Diego putting it on them right now, too, if that game's not over.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Atlanta is looking very good right now. I'm impressed with the offense for sure. They got everything going. They're running the ball well. passing the ball well, very balanced. So, yeah, this wasn't the Atlanta team I was expecting, and I know you weren't.
Oh,
So,
no. And on the same note, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna stay right in the same division. I'm gonna move right over to Tampa Bay and Carolina. What the hell, Carolina? What,
they're not
dude?
looking good. Their identity completely lost.
It's lost. That first game against Denver and Cam Newton was they shook. Just shook. That entire team is lost right now. They don't know where their identity is. They don't know what to do. And now Tampa Bay, here they are sitting quite nicely with their 2 wins in division coming from Atlanta and Carolina, those two teams. Go figure, right? So quite interesting game. I'm not expecting this from Carolina, and I'm not expecting this from Atlanta. Don't get me wrong. Shout out Michael Hedrick, kiss my butt, but hey, Atlanta's #1, dog. What's up?
Yeah. And then there's something. One game that caught me was well, okay, New England. All right, look, I know they're playing the Browns, but Tom Brady comes back like he didn't miss a game. Yeah, like he in this game and throws for 400 yards. I mean that's crazy.
400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hey, welcome back, Tom Brady.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's scary for the rest of the league, man. And and I gotta say this, man. This is a shout out to Stan here. Gotta give props to Dallas. They came in there and they just ran over Cincinnati like that. And I mean, look good doing it. They were up 28-0. I mean, it's finished off 28-14, but I got to give Dallas some props as much as I don't like that because, I'm not a Cowboys fan. But I'll give props where props is due, as you know. And that offensive line is moving people. Did you see those holes Ezekiel Elliott had to run through? It's crazy.
Touches for 160 yards, or 15 touches for 122 yards, 142 yards, something like that, on 15 touches, dude. 15.
And how do you have a 62 or 63-yard touchdown run and not get touched? Like,
it's illegal, right? Well, you got to give Prescott a lot of credit, man. This dude has thrown 155 passes without an interception.
Yep. Now on track to break Tom Brady's record because Tom Brady has the record for
162. So I mean, it's gonna come. It might. Who do they got next week?
Who? Dallas.
Dallas.
They're at Green Bay, which this is a perfect segue. So, what games are you looking forward to for the week?
Well, of course, I'm checking out the Dallas and Green Bay game, of course. But no, I gotta say it, man. I gotta say it. What I call about the AFC West.
They're tied for first place. Well, I guess they'll have the lead now if Denver loses.
Yeah. Well, Oakland and Kansas City. I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to this game because Kansas City has a defense that's okay. I want to see what Carr does against it. I'm curious about how Carr does against a team that Kansas City does a lot of man coverage. I want to see how he does against that because in a lot of these cases, when I watch Carr and how they play a lot of zone. They're played against a lot of zone. Atlanta played them a lot of zone when they played them. The other team that they played, they've been playing against a lot of. Well, Kansas City throws a lot of man out there. I would like to see how they do against that.
It'd be an interesting game. They're playing in Oakland, so I mean, that'd be a fun game to watch. Actually, I mean, in a couple of other ones, like you say, you mentioned the Dallas Green Bay game up there in Lambeau Field, and then you have Atlanta at Seattle, and so I mean, that's it. Man, if Atlanta goes up to Seattle and win after winning in Denver, I mean, wow, you talk about on a roll. Atlanta. Quite possibly, I don't want to go ahead and get anybody's hopes up. I know you're not going to believe the hype, Patrick, because you're rougher on your teams than most anybody else I know. But Atlanta's going to be mentioned right up there with teams like Minnesota. We'll see what happens, what comes up the Green Bay Dallas game as well. But the winner of those two games are going to be right there with your favorites in the NFC. I mean, for sure, and not just record wise, but they've just looked the best. So we'll see how things come up. And let's see, are there any other ones? The interesting one to me is the Colts and Texans too. They're playing on Sunday night, and I, I don't know. I don't think neither team is that good, but but
we'll see. We'll see who is. We'll see Tennessee quietly take first place, possibly.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it'll be interesting just to see who can kind of establish themselves at the top of the AFC South. But I gotta say, man. All right, so the 49ers, they decided to put Colin Kaepernick in the starting lineup. So I want to see how he does. Tough game though. They're at Buffalo. And the Buffalo defense has been playing pretty well lately. It looks like they're starting to get things together, and it looks good for your wild card pick right about now as well.
Does it not?
So
I'm quite impressed because I took a risk on that. Huge risk on that.
But they have the talent. Buffalo does have talent. And so it is just a matter of can they put it together? And that defense is starting to roll. They're creating turnovers and stuff. And they're going against a guy in Colin Kaepernick. It's almost like, I mean, let's be honest, man. It's kind of like he's coming in there. He hasn't played in a live game in almost a year. So it's almost like a rookie, kind of. Not quite. But it is kind of like, because, I mean, he hasn't seen live action. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes out. It's a tough test facing a Rex Ryan defense who's probably going to throw a lot of pressure looks at him in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. Well, anything else catching your eye, Patrick, before we move on to the NHL real quick?
Yeah, there was one more game that caught my eye. Chicago and Jacksonville. This is a very interesting game to me. Mostly because both teams suck, and these teams suck more than they should. This is why I'm really kind of saying this. I'm not saying this. Normally I say a lot of things, just to
say them,
just to be saying them and stuff like that. But I'm saying this about these two teams in particular because I want to be a little serious when I say this. These two teams suck for no reason. These teams should not be this bad. They, on paper, are some of the best teams that you can put together. Why are they not working? There's something wrong in these two teams that are just not adding up. I think this is an interesting game because of just that right there. Who's going to turn their season around right here? And I mean, honestly, I think Chicago could be the team that does it. Kind of hope they're the team that does it because they are my wild card. But these two teams suck for no reason, and this is just sad to watch these two teams be this freaking bad for absolutely no reason. I don't get it.
With Jacksonville, I think Jacksonville has. Yeah, I can agree with you with Jacksonville because I was expecting big things from Jacksonville as well. It looks like they had put together a pretty good roster, but just something's just not coming together. Blake Bortles doesn't seem to be as good as a lot of people thought. Looks like he's still making some bad reads. He's still kind of turnover prone, and the defense isn't quite as good as we thought either. With Chicago, what I'll say about Chicago is they they have a very young defense for one, and they've been decimated by injury. Chicago has been crushed by injury. So for them, I can say Chicago is still kind of a work in progress to me, because I think because they had a lot of young talent coming in on, especially on the defensive end, I I could see Chicago struggling. Jacksonville, though, they've been putting together this roster for a while, and this was supposed to be the year to jump off. They really haven't had any injuries in their defense. Jacksonville's roster has been pretty whole. They're just not putting it together.
Right.
So,
Well,
so that's how I feel. Chicago, I can see Chicago struggling though. I'm not really.
And rightfully so. Chicago is having this issue with, but it's not just injuries, man. Their identity is 4 different ways to every game. They come out with a different identity every quarter, and that's what I don't get. Why is this coach coming in is offensive minded? I can't think of his name right now. He's offensive minded.
John Fox? No, he's defensive minded.
Oh, is it John Fox?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm thinking last year then. Okay. Let's move on then. John Fox, who is a defensive minded coach, still can't stop a team from playing. Now, granted, dude, I know they got a lot of injuries, but man, there's something missing still. There is something missing still. I mean, you should be able to score when you have somebody when you have red zone opportunities, and instead of capitalizing on those, you throw an interception. I mean, I'm not blaming the defense, but you throw an interception and then the defense is on the field for like 40 minutes out of 60. That's a problem. But there's something going on in Chicago that's more than just injuries, dude. I think they really need to think about cleaning house again. And I'm thinking starting top to top down. There's something going on in Chicago. I just don't. There's something wrong, and it's more than just injuries, dude.
Well, Patrick, look, we gotta get to the NHL real quick, and we'll do a more comprehensive preview of this in the coming shows. But for now, can you give me your Stanley Cup finalists and your dark horse in each conference?
No. No, dude, man, so many trades this year, dude. You just don't know. Boston made a ton of moves, got some fresh new legs out there, some new talent. Montreal went and got a couple of people that got a little bit of experience. Washington stayed the same. Pretty much St. Louis, they got a fantastic blue line now. God, this one was hard. I have been struggling with picking Stanley Cups and dark horses.
You want to come back for the next show to?
Dude, we might have to. I mean,
sounds good.
Yeah, let's come back. I want to these teams.
Can you give me a dark horse at least?
Yeah, I mean, we could probably do a dark horse. What do I get? One in the Eastern Conference and one in the Western Conference?
One in the West.
Let's go 2.
Okay.
Let's go 2 in the East. I'm gonna go out on a limb on one of them. Buffalo. I think Buffalo has some talent there. Can they pull it together? That's gonna be my huge question. Can they pull it together? I think they could. But I think they're possibly going to be missing that leadership on the ice. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo, and I'm gonna pick one out of the Atlantic and one out of the Metropolitan. I'm gonna go with Buffalo in that one, and then
Philadelphia? Is that the look? Is that the look that I see? Are you gonna go with the tanking team in the world?
I ain't going with Philadelphia. I ain't going with Philadelphia.
Because I'm going with Philadelphia, so go ahead.
Don't do that, dude. No.
Philadelphia, man. I like what they're doing. I do.
They have made a lot of good moves. They made a lot of good moves. I'm interested in what they're gonna do. I want to see how well that first two lines play. Philadelphia really bulked up their first line. Did they? I think they moved one of their guys from the first line down to the second line. That really buffed that second line up. But past that, they don't have any lines, and they only have two good blue liners right at this point right now. So I think they need to. I think they need to make a move for maybe another defense. And if they did that, they could probably mix up their lines a little bit and give them three strong lines as they come out with, maybe a fourth one to give some rest. I'm kind of curious about what Philadelphia does, but I'm not going to claim them as my dark horse. I'm going to go with Columbus. And I've always been a huge fan of Columbus anyway. I mean, I don't know why. I guess because they always play like that Boston style of hockey. But I'm gonna go with Columbus. I don't think they're gonna do much, but they have a team that could. They're kind of like Buffalo. They got two good lines. I'm not saying they're great lines. Both teams do. They have two good lines, and they have a few blue liners that could really cause some problems for some one and two lines. But Columbus, I think, they could string a couple of wins together. They could start feeling really confident about themselves, and they could really mix up theirs and create a third line as well. So I'm gonna go with them as my two dark horses, Buffalo and Columbus.
Who you have in the West?
I'm gonna go with Minnesota. I'm gonna go with Minnesota as my dark horse. How do you go against Mr. Third Period, dude?
Yeah, Zach Parise. I know.
That crazy man. He doesn't give you crap in the first two periods and pulls out a hat trick in the third, baby. Come on. Let's. I want to see how they do. Minnesota is really a interesting team to me this year. And honestly, in the Western Conference, I really only have one, and I would say Minnesota.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, I'll go ahead.
Who's your dark horse?
Huh?
Who's your dark horse in the Western Conference?
Yeah, I'm getting to it. I was about to say it. Philadelphia is mine in the East, and in the West, I'm going Nashville. I like Nashville because I love the move they made to pick up PK Subban. I love that.
Yeah, that was a good move.
That was a great move, man. And I think what it gives, because Shea Weber was good, because that was a pretty much a 1-for-1 swap. Shea Weber was good, but I think PK Subban gives them a little bit more on the offensive end. I think he's a little bit more complete of a defenseman than what Shea Weber was bringing. And I think that will help Nashville tremendously with what they have on the forwards. So I'm going Nashville. And Rene, goaltender. You still got Rene there. So, yeah, Nashville is my dark horse. So,
okay. Well, I can tell you this. I didn't pick Nashville as mine because I don't think they're a dark horse. I think they're going to be competing for like almost best
Stanley
record.
Cup.
I think so. I mean, I'm not, and don't get me wrong. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're really riding this Nashville. You must be a Nashville." I'm not a Nashville fan. I'm really not. I can tell you right now, I'm a PK Rene fan, dude. That dude is fantastic as a goalie. And then I completely forgot that they picked up PK. So, but I mean, even with that, even before that, I mean, I had them probably winning the Central. I mean, taking it. I don't think they're a dark horse too much as I think they're probably going to be competing for a Stanley Cup, dude.
I just think that division's too loaded, man. You got Dallas, you got St. Louis, and Chicago in that division. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough sledding in that division.
Oh yeah, well, it's always going to be tough sledding in that division. But you know, I like Nashville, man. I really do. I think they, I feel Nashville will probably make a few more moves. I think they do need to go get at least another blue liner to help complement PK. But other than that, man, I think they're Chicago is loaded, dude. Chicago is loaded. I mean, without breaking a sweat, three great lines, and could have a possible fourth. They're kind of like Boston in a lot of sense, because Boston has four good lines. They could probably mix that up and make it with three great lines and a really darn good fourth one right now. So Boston looks crazy good right now too. So, I mean, I do I need to go ahead and pick up my do I need to go ahead and pick up my
No. Because we said we were gonna go ahead and do those in a later show.
I'll
So
do that. I'll have it ready for next week. But there's my dark horse. So I'll go with, if I had to go with one, I'll go Columbus and Minnesota.
all right then. Well, this will wrap up this edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube. So make sure you check us out on all those sites. You already know the sites: Facebook, Google Plus, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You can check Patrick Brackett out at The Freshness, and I am at Chuck T All Stars. So make sure you check us out. Again, give us feedback and leave comments if you dare. No, we're not that bad. Just let us know how we're doing. In the in the next couple of weeks, remember I said something about us going live that is still in the booking, so be on the lookout for that. And there will be more announcements coming out about going live. So until then, everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy the football, enjoy the baseball, enjoy everything that's going on in the sports world, and we will see you next week. Take care.